Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. Welcome to Ethernal Realms. Let's get into your Feb reading. We will see what the month's theme is, and then we'll break it down into the top 3 highlights, and then we get into your oracle and your tarot. So we have the first quarter moon with Grow. This month will have more opportunities, more abundance, more opportunities to basically grow in whichever way that you are choosing at this time in life. Okay, you'll also have more resources and processes and promises, plans and so on, which have already begun. You will start to see the first results or rewards of that. Okay, we have January coming up. Okay, and we have, wow, all right, we have February. So these first 2 months could have been, will be, and could have been quite eventful, or things have been changing quite quickly, like getting back from holidays and then perhaps work was back in full force, or just life began all of its activities, especially towards the 3rd week of January, because that's when all the planets turn direct. And there are obviously a lot of carryover vibes from January to Feb. So things will gain more momentum. There will be, a picking up of the pace. So something that began in January could have been quite sluggish, and it's hard to reach the right people. It might be difficult to, get any work done because it's all haphazard or unorganized, and people are still getting back from the holidays and things like that. So in February, things are picking up. Your motivation is up. You are inspired to take action. There is a lot of speed in general. Then we have ladder, which says climbing towards success. That is awesome because now we know which way the momentum is leading, and the growth as well can be in a career front. Or whatever it is that you define success in. Honestly, like, everyone has a different definition of it. So whatever those things are, like a state of peace, for example, to not have to worry about something, and so on, that can be a feeling of success and abundance as well. So whichever way that fits, there is more momentum towards that direction. There is an up-leveling, upgrading of the speed, the life, the pace, and so on. And because you're able to see, some rewards, some results from previous efforts, you know which way to keep going, because ladder is like a very clearly defined path, right? So it knowing and seeing that first result can really illuminate what needs to happen next for you. Okay, then we have unstick the stuck. Okay, then we have sacred mirrors, right? And we have get back to elemental. Okay, so basics are important in this month. So eating right, sleeping enough, giving yourself some rest, connecting with the right people, having, regular conversations. So that way you form a relationship, because I talk about relationships because we have sacred mirrors, and that can really talk about some soulmate, friendship, partnering up with someone. It can show that how you are feeling on the inside, and the affirmations that you keep telling yourself on the inside are the things that are reflected on the outside as well. So this is a very nice time to grow yourself by observing your external world and life from an objective viewpoint. Okay, so unstick the stuck can talk about anything. Again, whatever was slow paced is not going to be slow paced anymore. Anything that was inhibiting you, keeping you stuck, kind of frozen in a place, that is shaking loose. There are some big changes taking place after Uranus turned direct on the 21st of January. So that is carrying over. It's helping you kind of attract the right resources and clearly define where you want to go next. So getting back to the elemental can talk about working on the foundations or getting the basics right, having the prerequisites in order to move to another direction. It can be learning about something basic as well. Yeah, really feeling a grounded vibe there. Oh, speaking of learning, we have the Page of Swords. This can, again, talk about a lot of networking. It can be learning a lot of things. You are very curious. You might have a lot of questions. So you would be searching about various things. And I don't feel like it is one topic. And even if it is one topic, the questions you are looking for might be like random Google searches, for example, or, flipping through different books for a specific section and then moving on to the next. So it's sort of like a data collection type of vibe going on here, where you're learning things from other people's opinions, and also learning from different fields, different experts as well. And you are combining those things, those assortments, in a way that suits you, sort of. You want to form your own opinion, basically. Okay, so you're learning whatever you need to learn, facts, opinions, figures, everything, in order to have more clarity. This also talks about taking a course because you're curious about a subject. There might also be a lot of stuff going on, many communications, a lot of connections, there can be a lot of back and forth, ideating, and so on. It's a very busy vibe in this card, and that right next to Get Back to Elemental is again telling me that it's very important to have the basic lifestyle in place, because you do need to eat enough, or or you need to sleep enough, and exercise in some form, like taking a walk or whatever, cycling, anything, right? Also engage in something fulfilling, etc. So that's really important, because everything is going to pick up speed. It is going to gather momentum, and if you don't take care of yourself, it can be very overwhelming down the line, right? Next, we have the Two of Pentacles, which is also a very busy vibe. It indicates that there are two different facets of life which are kind of in opposition. For example, home and family versus career and the external world. It can be us, like me versus you, or me versus others, my work versus other people's work, how we show ourselves in public, how we express ourselves in public versus how we express in privacy with ourselves, right? So these are opposite facets of life, but there can be this juggling of sorts across this domain. For example, you have ideas and now you have to make it tangible, or you have the resources and you need to come up with ideas involving those resources. There can be a moving around of money, so you might be learning a lot about investments, finances, what is the safest option, things like that. If you are partnering up with someone for your finances, there can be again a moving around of resources. For some reason, that's possible. Yes. Okay, then we have the Ace of Cups, which indicates new love possibilities, also deepening your love with your current relationships. Also talks about, healing your heart. So past difficulties and so on, you're able to move on from it. You're in a state of fulfillment and satisfaction in general throughout this month here. Even if it's busy, I feel like it's the good kind of busy. You want to do these things, so you're willing to put in the effort. It's just that the month is kind of action-packed here for you. But nothing is getting in the way. It's not bothersome, okay? Also, we have 3 and 3, which indicates that you're being guided, and can also indicate March is going to be a super important time for you. But January and February are equally as important because they're setting up the foundation for March to begin. March has a lot of crazy astrology, heavy stuff going on. So we need to be taking advantage of whatever time we have before then to take stock of everything that we have, basically. So appreciating our relationships, our blessings, getting into a gratitude mindset, and like discovering, questioning things, and so on, finding out for ourselves. Ace of Cups signifies a great deal of self-respect and self-love as well, and you are radiating a lot of calm and compassion, so people will feel soothed around you. So you find it easier to make new connections at this time. If, for example, even in a public platform, if someone is trying to, connect, let's say the support center. People might be more drawn towards your work, your style, your presentation, you know, you're just in general a very radiant being in this month here. So whatever it is you need to accomplish, it's also as likely for you to find the right contacts at the right time. Speaking of, we have the Three of Cups, which talks about the social network. It is also close groups of friends, siblings as well. There is a lot of harmony in these relationships. So your social group might be tightening, you might be having a get-together, or you are expanding on this, making a new friend, new connections, and so on is very much possible. It also indicates that you have a lot of support from the universe, and again, 3 and 3 here. Really all about support and guidance, so watch out for intuition, how your heart feels actually in this month. Because the Two of Pentacles, Page of Swords, looks like you're being guided by your heart. There is an internal motive or internal drive to making this busyness happen. For example, you want that security, you love security, therefore you're going to learn whatever you need to learn in order to ensure that, right? So there is an internal motive that is very near and dear to you. So stay true to that, don't let that dim. Basically, that radiance is very magnetic for you. And we have the Six of Swords. This can indicate travel or travel plans. Also talks about, releasing mental blocks, leaving behind toxic thought patterns or toxic surroundings in order to move to a different place which is more vibrant, more energized, which motivates you as well. And this can also take the form of a day trip of sorts, somewhere close by, that you feel very happy being. You could be traveling to meet your friends, so on. Then we have scintillation, which is really shining here. It's about that stellar quality, again, that upgrade, the up level, and also the star support or the universal support is really standing out here. So honestly, it's as though the universe will keep blowing your back. I don't know if that is even a thing, but kind of pushing you forward, egging you forward, like, yes, you just do and we will carry it on. That's the vibe that's coming through. And then we have constellation, which is that soul group. Okay, you absolutely have a lot of guidance here. I feel like your intuition or your gut, your heart, these 3 things are not going to lie in this month. So any big decisions you're making, any plans you have, if you're in doubt, ask for a sign. It's so likely that you're going to receive one. Okay. It also indicates that you're connecting with your close friends, your relatives, your long lost siblings perhaps, and getting to know them. All right. Also close friends, of course. It can also talk about expanding your network in general. So even if you are not close by, in a physical sense, you are still connected globally. That type of vibe. All right, then we have sidereal space, which indicates looking at something from an objective viewpoint. Yeah, I was talking about that, right? You're making plans for the future in some way. You're like, all this busy is for something greater, something that is much closer to you, in your heart. It's an important place in yourself, but you're distancing yourself from it in a personal sense, and you are instead getting to work. You're doing what is needed to be done, and you're not taking things personally. You're using all of your skills very adequately. You're managing time well. You are, again, there's a healthy sense of criticism. If something is off within you or with your work or anything in your relationships, you're very open about that, and that really helps you kind of move past any difficulties, because honestly, denial does not help anybody anyway. It's a very temporary state that can be fine, but in the long run it never works, right? Especially for Sagittarians. You look for the truth, right? You ask the big questions all the time. So this can be one of those months where you're looking at that big future vision, and you're perhaps taking care of the basics in order to push yourself forward throughout the rest of the year. Especially whether you're doing this on purpose or not, there is definitely some planning going on for March. It can be more of a spiritual thing, I don't know, but it can also be that you have something major planned for March and you're kind of prepping for it in Feb. All right, so what else can we know for Sagittarians, please, in the month of February, please? We have the 6th house, Gemini, and North Node. All right, so there's a lot of focus on work or forming professional relationships. There can be a lot of emails, contracts, things like that. If you're looking for a new job, for example, you can make new connections. Someone can be very useful to you. It's likely you've made the contact in January, and this person is proving to be useful in Feb. North Node talks about life purpose and also fulfillment. Some of you could be looking to, a different source of income or switching your field altogether. So you're doing a lot of research about it. You're learning more about it because at this point you don't know all the details yet. But yeah, you might be really contemplating that. There can also be a change in lifestyle. You could pick up reading, writing, for example, as your hobbies, as making that part of your habit, fixing your habits, setting down the basics, your routines, health, waking time, sleeping time, all of those things, so that your mental health is in balance. And yeah, you feel refreshed throughout the day to do whatever it is that you need to do. All right, so all in all, very productive, very useful, but also quite chill. It's a rush, but it's not really overwhelming in any way. It's a good kind of busy. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarians. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope the reading resonated and that it helps you out. Let me know your thoughts. If you want a personal reading, you can reach me via Etsy. The link is in the description box in the comment below. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.